5-star copies all. Go ahead. Message to observer. Alpha 3 rounds. AT delay in effect. 3 guns. Bravo 2 rounds. 2 guns. Smoke on effect.
Good morning, crew. It is May 27, 2021, Thursday morning. This is Options Millionaire. It's currently 6:15 Central Standard Time, 7:15 Eastern. We got about an hour or 2 hours and 15 minutes till the market opens. And we got a lot of questions asked. I know I checked checked a few of the questions popped around the Discord early this morning. Seems to be just a misdirection of where things are going to go. The people are wondering, hey, where are we going to go? Are we going up? Are we going down? Are we going to finally break this chop? Are we going to be bullish, bearish, so on and so forth? I think pretty good questions that everyone has around the market. And we're going to try to answer some of those questions today, although we may not actually get there, but we're going to give it a shot. We'll take a look at the indicators. We'll see what the market is giving us. Currently looking at the SPY yearly chart, and things are starting to look a little alarming for me, I guess you could say. I'm not going to call tops. I'm not going to be bearish, but I'm definitely going to start looking at indicators that are going to point to more of a downward move. But we'll see. Right now, we're currently looking at the yearly chart. I've got a couple of lines here drawn that you may be asking yourself what they are. And right, as you can see, I've got my volume profile out here, and I've got this expanded a little bit, so you can see a little bit more detail in the volume nodes. And the volume nodes here are just the distributions of volume you see peeking out there. So right now, we are currently down a little bit, 0.2%, 418.28 in pre-market. Slightly down. The entire market is slightly down. The futures are down a little bit. All the FANG is pretty much down anywhere from 0.2, 0.3. QQQ, same as SPY, same thing. So the sectors are slightly down right now. I think the financial sector is slightly up. Everything else is slightly down. Just a mixed bag, basically. Everything is trading slightly flat to the downside. Not much to go crazy about, but that could point to one direction or the other. I think there's the problem here is there's a lot of timidness in the market this week. One, we have a long weekend, so people may be going risk off until the long weekend. They don't want to be holding positions over this weekend, especially in these market conditions. Two, we've got a lot of data coming out today, jobs data. So all eyes will be on that stuff to see how that's going to roll and how the increasingly opening economy is going to affect the job growth. So we'll take a look at that. Getting back into the data here, we've got currently 418.28 in pre-market. We peaked this week on the 25th here up at the 420.77, and that's really what I'm going to be looking at. If we do have some good news and we trend upwards, we really need to pop that week's high in order to get some gaining strength into reaching all-time highs. That's the only way we're going to do it. That's the weekly range. There's no real resistance up here because that is all-time highs. So we've been so much consolidated since our mid-April right here that all the volume distribution is here and it's not up here. So there's no real resistance upward. As long as we pop weekly highs, we could continue all forward. Now, we need to look at all market conditions as well. So down here, we've got this large volume node down here at the 415 area, and that's our big support. And you can kind of see it play out in the market here. You see this whole consolidation where the market doesn't really want to dip below this area, 415-ish area. So every time we do, it's bought right up. And then, of course, down here, we finally did pop it and bounce right off. So that'll be the next level of support. If we do pop the 415, I would expect to come down here, and the volume node shows that here. So this 406-ish level is where we kind of bounced off of, give or take, down here. So we'll definitely be looking for those different levels and see how the prices manipulate off that. And right now, I just want to go into a shorter, a little more detailed 3-month chart. All right, so coming down here, the volume node, the point of control on the 3-month is actually right at this 415. It's actually right at 415. So I mean that shows you. Look at that, it's massive volume node right there. So we're hovering right above it because we keep bouncing and consolidating on that point, and it's to be expected. That's to be expected. It doesn't give me any surprises there. So now I've drawn the line. You can kind of see that's behind the green line there. You see behind it, it's the 415 support that we need to look at, and it happens to be right at on the point of control, which is good. And I drew that line off the 1-year chart as well. So the 3-month chart validates that the point of control is right there. So that's going to be a strong support if we do end up coming down here. Now, another point to consider here is that we have a gap from the 24th pre-market. And they gapped up from 415, and they gapped all the way up to almost 417. So we've got this $2 gap that in order to fill that, we need to come down to the 415 area, which, very well could be if we start heading that direction. I'll be looking for that. This is the daily chart. And I want to come out to the 15-minute just to kind of look of how yesterday interacted with price ranges. Look at the two big, we're sandwiched right here in between these two volume nodes. Look at that. Right up here, the 419 and the 415-ish level. So we're definitely cut right in between these two volume nodes. and we need to definitely pay attention to those as today goes on. So this is a skew, this measures the implied volatility of outside the money premiums, tail risk basically. So now when you've got a skew down here that's real low in the 125 100 area, that means there's pretty much a low probability of an outlier move, and then anything over 150 or around 150 is going to be a high probability of an outlier move. So you can kind of see we are approaching that level. We're right at the 150 level. So if this thing holds any weight at all, we can expect a high probability of an outlier move. That's the book definition of it. Because of this implied volatility measure. Now, if everyone knows the definition of implied volatility, you would know what we're facing when we see this skew here. So this definitely brings a little bit of alarm into things, and you definitely want to play with some risk-off attitude when taking your plays, because if we do get a move, we could see one of those black swan events that brings down at $6 or $7 down to the downside. If we do even have an event that we could trigger that kind of action, and today, with all this news coming out today and tomorrow, it could be the perfect conditions to have a black swan. So that's all I got, guys. If you got any questions, post them over the Discord room. We got a lot of people there that can answer those questions. Pretty much 24/7 access to me as I monitor the Discord all the time. If you're new to the channel, like this video, subscribe to get notifications both on my live streams and all of the new educational videos I got coming out this month and next month. Also, be prepared for the Options Millionaire podcast that's coming out in June. There'll be cool stuff and anywhere from education to my experience, and I'll be having experts on to talk about their experience as well. So a lot of cool stuff coming at you. Anyway, you got about 2 hours till the market opens. Let's get ready. Do your due diligence, do your market research, learn as much as you can, and of course, trade smart today. Keep your powder nice and dry, so when it comes time to pull the trigger, you can have massive effect. Thank you all, appreciate it, and let's have a good day. See you.